Hello friends! This video will be dedicated to my new device, which is oscilloscope, multimeter and signal generator at the same time. This device operates on its own lithium-ion battery with a capacity of 4 amp hours. Of course, the manufacturer includes the charger with a power cable, the oscilloscope probe, multimeter probes, and USB cable with software for PC communication. As you can connect this device to your computer and not only save all the data from this device, but also see your oscilloscope graphs in the real time. For charging and PC communication, you should unscrew here one small screw. Here we have mini USB for PC communication, the charging socket and red light emitting diode. As soon as the device is charged, the light emitting diode turns off. This BNC connector is designed for the oscilloscope, these two ones for multimeter and this for signal generator output. In comparison with other devices, you have no need to change batteries, as this device has built-in lithium-ion battery and the nominal capacity is 4100 milliamp hours. As soon as we turn it on, it displays its functions. This button is channel settings button, this is trigger settings button, and this is menu button. As to these two buttons, this is multimeter and this is signal generator. With the help of F1, F2, F3 and F4, you change the parameters displayed here. And of course, these four buttons are designed for navigation. Initially, the device turns on its oscilloscope. With the help of these vertical buttons, you change the voltage per division. 200 millivolts, 500, 1 volt, 2 volts, 5 volts, and its maximum. So we have here volts div at limit. The minimum is 2, 1, 500 millivolts, 200, 100, 50, 20, 10. These horizontal buttons change the time base. The minimum is 10 nanoseconds and maximum is 5 seconds. And this is the only inscription in Chinese, despite the device which came to me has only English language in its menu, and you cannot change it to Chinese. In case you press F2, channel 1 move, you can move this graph. Also here we have F3 auto, in case we would like to get the waveform automatically, and F4 is hold button. When we press the trigger mode button, we have only three functions here: slope, mode and high frequency reduction. If we press F1 slope, now we have rising and now falling. Let it be rising. Mode, channel 1 normal, once and auto. And in case of high frequency reduction, it has now HF. If you would like to turn off this function, you press once again. As to the third green button, menu, it gives us some interesting possibilities. Measure, F1. Let's press it. With the help of this function, you can display 3 of 10 functions automatically. For example, here we have voltage minimum, duty, and frequency. I would like to get voltage peak to peak. Now it's off. I move it to the right, and here we have this on. I would like to get period. It's off, and I move to it, period, and turn it on. And I would like to have duty. So other functions are disabled, they are off, and here we have the last 3 selected functions: voltage peak to peak, period, and duty. Button F2, save. This is a reference, so this is graph which you have saved previously. Now it's off, let's turn it on. So this graph was saved by me some days ago, and I can recall it in order to compare with the present graph. Let's turn it off. You can load this one, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places for graphs. And if you would like to load another graph, you should move to the second position and select the graph number. I have nothing here in number 3, that's why it can't load anything. So in case of the first graph, you go to load, and it loads this one, and you will see it if you turn it on. If you would like to save your current graph, you should go to a save position, select it, for example number 6, and then go here, save, and press the right button. So the screen turns off and on within half a second, and your position is saved. Let's check F3 in this menu, DISP. So here we have display settings. Grid off on, so you can turn off the grid, but I prefer to use it. Here we have averages, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So now, in case of 1, the device displays every measured sample. For example, if you choose 4, the device will show you every 4th sample. So you will see the average measurement. Persistence 0357. Maybe for some users it's a very useful function, but personally for me it means nothing. So the more is the digit, the longer is the delay of changing. For example, you have big sinusoidal signal, then you have decreased the signal, and within some seconds you see how this big sinusoidal signal decreases. So it's something like visual delay. The fourth function is either vectors or dots. So in case of dots, you have really the graph which consists of small dots, not infinite line. This is backlight, and you can change it. Language, only English. The next function is color of the display. I have changed it to black. Initially it was blue. You have only 4 colors for it. This is the first, second, third, and fourth. As soon as you adjust the settings, you go to Save Setup and save them. So here you have right arrow and you press it. If you would like to reset all the factory settings, you move to the last function and press this button, reset. As to the F4, this is only version and it changes nothing. Now let's check the multimeter functions. We press this button and here we have not only the measurement, but we also can build graphs of the measured voltage. F1 button setup allows us to change the type of measurement. So now we have voltage, then ohm meter, also have sign 0 ohm, and here ohm meter, then capacity, then continuous, and then diode. You can go to the second line and turn it on, and we will see the graph. So as soon as the voltage changes, this red line will also move up or down. The second button, F2, DC, AC. Here we have DC and now we have AC. Also here the graph changes from 0 to 6, and in case of DC we have -6, +6. Standard hold button, unhold, and auto. And now let's check the third main function of this device, the signal generator. Here we have off, this is voltage, so amplitude, and here we have frequency. As to the function buttons, now F1 on off, and here we have the generator off. Now the device is on, out, and here we have direct current. F2, the amplitude, 2.5 volts is the maximum voltage for this device. So you cannot increase, but you can decrease. This is coarse, and this is fine. Frequency, coarse, but now we cannot change it because here we have direct current. In order to change the frequency of the waveform, we must have the waveform. So we press waveform F4. Here we have DC, square, triangle, saw, sinusoidal, and pulse. Let's choose square. Frequency, coarse. 50,000 Hertz is maximum. We can decrease. It's pretty fast. Now this is fine. Also we can change the amplitude. Also here we have out, and we can see the square wave sign. For adjustment of the miscellaneous equipment, for example audio devices, 50,000 Hz frequency is really enough, even more than needed. Also, I would like to note two signs on the display. Here we have R and T. T is always red, and in case you recall the reference graph, this R is also red. And this sign is battery status. So, according to the manual, as soon as you get the device, you should charge it within 10 hours. And subsequently, 6 hours for each charging are enough. I cannot tell you anything about the maximum operation time, but definitely this device can work within some hours. Now let's check how this device works. Now I have connected the probe, and let's check this frequency. It's not bad. In order to measure frequency, we go to Menu, Measure, and we would like to get frequency. So the frequency is 23 kHz. Also here we have 23.7 and here we have 23.4. But nevertheless, it's okay. Let's change the waveform. Triangle, saw, sinusoidal, and this is pulse. Now let's check the multimeter. 1.347. Let's compare this with another device. 1347, 1348. One, 336. Not bad. 4144. 410. In order to check the mains voltage, we go to AC, and here it changes to AC, 236. So we have really the difference of 2 volts, but I can't say which device is more precise. Unfortunately, I have no other signal generator in order to check the possibilities of this device, especially 50 MHz, but let's check the oscilloscope once again with the help of another frequency. Now we will check pulse width modulation signal of this lantern with the help of solar panel. This lantern has 3 modes: common, energy saving and blinking. This is common. This is energy saving. We can see the signal, the pulse width modulation. And the third also we can see the frequency, 6 Hz, and it's really so the device is really precise. Also, I would like to note an option which is really necessary for all people who use the oscilloscope in their labs or workshops. In channel settings menu, the first green button, we have F1, F2, F3 and F4. But F2 is not only the button who allows you to move the graph. If we press this button twice, we will get another menu. You can turn on or off this graph, and the option about which I would like to note is coupling. Now it's DC and now it's AC. Also, if you use attenuation on your probe, you should move to the next line and check the attenuation, X10 or X100. Also, everything will change here. And besides it, you can invert your signal. On, and now it's off. Let's check it. I would like also to show you how this device measures resistance and capacity. Let's first check the probes. So it's okay. And this is 150 kilo ohm resistor. So it's really good. And also let's check the capacity. I wouldn't like to unsolder this part, and I know that it is not good to measure it when it is already soldered, but the inscription says that it is 220 220 and the device measures 233. But anyway, with the help of this device we can check either it's okay or damaged. Now the device is connected to my computer. Let's launch the program. If we press read, the device will move all the saved data, I mean the waveforms, to the PC. If we would like to see the real-time waveform, we should switch to this position and press start. So we see the same waveform. So we see the delay between the device and the computer, but in case of PC connection, the oscilloscope works slowly. Now about the conclusions, advantages and disadvantages. The first main advantage is that the device contains 3 devices at the same time. And for example, in order to test your probe, you have no need to purchase another signal generator. The second advantage is the oscilloscope bandwidth, which is 50 MHz, which is really great for such price of the device, which contains 3 devices at the same time. The third advantage is the measurement of voltage, capacity, resistance, continuous checking and diode checking. The maximum resistance is 60 megaohm, the maximum voltage is 600 volts and the maximum capacitance is 6 millifarads. And the fourth advantage is PC connection, which allows you not only to move all the saved waveforms to your PC, but also to see real-time waveform on your computer. As to the disadvantages, I may note only the weight, which is approximately 700 grams. But in case you use the device 3-in-1 with multiple functions, I consider that 700 grams really isn't a great problem. Thanks for watching, wish you good luck!